Good morning. My name is Frank Grinnell. I've been advising professional money managers and investing in the stock market for over 20 years. It serves as my day job, but most importantly, it is my absolute passion. On Street Views, I offer my daily viewpoint on the stock market in under 7 minutes. I will cover things like the global macroeconomic picture, the mood of the market, company-specific news, secular trends with some actionable sector and stock calls. I hope my insights are useful to you, whether you are a professional money manager or a passionate investor. At Grinnell Capital, we actively manage dynamic stock and ETF models for financial professionals and their clients, as well as individual investors. If you want to learn more about what we do, send me a note, frank@grinnellcapital.com. You can also find more of my insights on Twitter @GrinnellFrank. And now, today's Street Views. Hey, good morning. It is Friday, the 21st October. 21st October, 2022. Well, same stuff, different day. Rates higher, dollar higher. 2-year Treasury 4.62, 10-year 4.3. Both those are new relative highs. Oil up a touch. Was last I checked. I think it actually just turned a little red. Nat gas continues to get pummeled out there. Earnings this morning, Schlumberger, want to talk about that. Good numbers out of that company. Oil service has really lagged. Companies, Baker Hughes kicked it off. Schlumberger, talking about a multi-year upcycle for their businesses. Companies are increasing their activity, I imagine in a measured way, but nevertheless an increase in activity is good for these guys. Oil service has lagged the group. OIH is an ETF you can look at. It recently, just a couple days ago, broke back above its 200-day moving average, and there might be some pressure today. We got a pretty weak tape out there, it looks like. So Schlumberger, a great way to play it. Obviously Halliburton, you know that. OIH, also a great way to play it. I think we don't have any of that on ourselves, but are definitely thinking about it in the next few days. We do have a decent amount of oil exposure though, as it is. My gut looking at this marketplace, the dollar might make, if the dollar makes a new high, it's gonna break some hearts. Some of the talk was lower highs being made by the dollar after its recent surge up. It looks like it's going confidently higher again this morning. If it does break out to new highs, I think that's going to really upset some folks, because I think, as the narrative has been, we're going to get a blow off top in yields. Dollar's going to stop marching higher every day, and that'll be kind of the relief, right? So if the dollar breaks out to new all-time highs along with these yields, that just won't be. It's going to be a tough day. We are not long the dollar over here. We do have a tangential play in the form of managed futures. We use the simplifies managed futures, ticker is CTA, Charlie Tom Adam. Obviously they can play the strong dollar, but in other areas of Forex, they can play that as well. They can play sovereign debt. It's something to think about. It's been you look at the chart, it's been a slow and steady lower left to upper right type of trend for the year. I wish we had put it on much earlier in the year, but we have put it on recently. I think that's something to think about as well. If these trends trends continue longer than anticipated, and if this is one of them, a managed futures strategy can definitely help ease the burden. And I think the total cost on the CTA is 75 bips, so they're not cheap, but nonetheless, if they get you a little bit and save you a little bit in the carnage out there, and actually the CTA does pay a dividend. It has paid the last 2 months out in the form of a dividend, so that can offset the cost in general. So anyway, that's it. Have a good day. We'll talk to you. Have a good weekend. Talk to you on Monday.
And now for some important disclosures. Grinnell Capital is a state-registered investment advisor. Services offered by Grinnell Capital can only be offered in certain states where Grinnell Capital is registered or meets required exemptions. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training. For additional information about Grinnell Capital, including its services and fees, please review the firm's disclosure statement as set forth on Form ADV and available at no charge at advisorinfo.sec.gov. This podcast is provided for informational purposes only. The information contained herein should not be construed at the provision of personalized advice and is subject to change without notice. This material should not be considered as a solicitation to buy or sell any asset or engage in a particular investment strategy. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss, including loss of principal invested, and may not be suitable for all investors. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. This podcast contains certain forward-looking statements which indicate future possibilities. Actual results may differ materially from the expectations portrayed in such forward-looking statements. As such, there is no guarantee that any views and opinions expressed will come to pass. All expressions of opinion reflect the judgment of Grinnell Capital as of the date of publication and are subject to change without prior notice. This podcast contains information derived from third-party sources. Although we believe these sources to be reliable, we make no representations as to the accuracy of any information prepared by any unaffiliated third party incorporated herein and take no responsibility therefore. This podcast is provided with the understanding that Grinnell Capital is not engaging in rendering legal, accounting, or tax services, and we recommend that you seek out the services of professionals in these aforementioned areas. The principal investment focus of the accelerator model, the strategy, is to achieve strong relative and risk-adjusted returns, primarily by investing and trading in securities issued by companies that focus on the global information, technology, consumer, healthcare, industrial, and infrastructure sectors. These sectors are characterized by robust secular growth, an abundance of both new and maturing product cycles, a high degree of competition that creates the potential for relative winners and losers within a subsector or theme, a high degree of revenues and earnings volatility, rapidly changing sentiment and public perception, significant yet unrealized potential for globalization, and superior relative liquidity. Investment in the strategy is speculative and involves a high degree of risk. The second investment model is called the ignition model. The ignition model is an all-exchange traded fund, ETF, strategy with investment objectives similar to the accelerator model. This model seeks to capitalize on long-term growth trends experienced by the market leaders in various areas and sectors. The ignition model will also seek ETF investments based on cyclical forces experienced in the U.S. and the global economy. This model is also designed to have the ability to offer some downside protection in the event of significant market stress through investments in ETFs designed to take advantage of market volatility. The strategy's performance can be volatile. Grinnell Capital has total trading authority over the strategy. The use of a single manager applying similar trading programs can mean a lack of diversification and consequently higher risk. For more important disclaimers, please visit our website, grinnellcapital.com.